You cannot think your way into a spiritual awakening. But you can think in a way that makes you more susceptible to having an awakening. Isn't that the frustrating thing? There is the classic saying of words about enlightenment are like the finger pointing to the moon. They are not the moon itself. It's also been said that the words are like the menu, and they are not to be confused for the food itself. But words are awesome! That's the issue, isn't it? Words are so cool and illustrious, and I think maybe the hang-up that we get with spiritual words is a testament to the fact that language really does do so much for our experience. But they do raise a danger, especially for us that have been schooled in the standard academic way of memorize information and test on that information, maybe do a little physical practice on it, but for the most part, information is what makes you something. It has certainly been the tendency of mine to try to spiritually bypass, it's been the tendency of mine to try to intellectually bypass spiritual ideas, which is just something that is not possible. Following the absolute best teachers in the world, reading their books, will get you so far, but it's like a bridge that will take you closer to your destination, but then abruptly just breaks off. You get a much better view, perhaps, of what your experience could be, but it's not the same as having that experience. This is why spiritual practice fundamentally has to come down to being experience-based. There is nothing that is ever going to replace that. And a lot of people will say, oh, but that's frustrating because when I sit down and I meditate, I feel like nothing really spectacular happens. It is better to have a not spectacular experience of this moment. That is a closer step to direct awakening than reading even the most amazing idea in a book about awakening. And this is coming from a person that I was pretty early on able to fish through good material to follow. I had a good book list, and these are people like Maharaj. He wrote a book called I Am That I think is one of the best spiritual books in the world. I think everybody should read. And the limitation with it is ironically because it's in such pure language that I can read it and agree with it, and my agreeing with that can feel like, therefore, I have attained the same enlightenment that the writer has given me, or that the teacher has given me. This is where I do feel like I have a bit of a responsibility now that I'm in a place of some level of spiritual competence to teach it. There's been some egotistical reasons of like, I'm going to sound cool, spouting off all these spiritual ideas. Well, did you consider this? And that is all that I can give you. I can just give you ideas. But one of the ideas that I'm going to give you is the biggest invitation. Go start your own practice. When this video's finished, just close your eyes, sit quietly for a minute, and just actually experience right now. And it will not be spectacular. You're not going to suddenly be the Dalai Lama immediately. But that is better than listening to a single other word that I say. That being said, spiritual ideas, including the ones that I give here, but also much better ones and much better books and stuff, they are a fantastic adjunct to having your own experiences. That's all that they can be, though, is just a supplement. Supplements that can massively aid in spiritual growth, but that will never be a substitute for whatever's going on for you right now.